So this time I'm talking about the Advance EASINESS 4. The harness, reverse it. For me, I think the EASINESS 4 is an absolutely fantastic, lightweight, compact, reversible harness. It's incredibly versatile. I really love using it playing around on the ground. It's fantastic for ground handling. It's really good for takeoff and landing. It's so easy to get back in the harness. It's easy to get in and out. It's astoundingly comfortable. It really is. Try it. I've never felt any need to reach down and push down. It's really easy, but also very importantly, quite a lot of split leg harnesses, there's a little bit too much of that scoop. It feels like a big hand comes up and scoops you. And then when you want to come and get your feet down, it's really difficult. Well, not at all. With the EASINESS 4, Advance have managed to make that really easy as well. You do want to push your hips to the front, but then it's relatively and very easy to get back out of the harness. So a really key point I want to make about the EASINESS 4, which is very similar to its predecessor, the EASINESS 3, to a certain degree the 2 as well, and some other similar kind of harnesses. But I think particularly when the EASINESS 3 came out, Advance managed to make a harness that it's very light and compact. It's not a super ultralight string harness, but it gives you a lot of comfort, a surprisingly good amount of comfort, and it's a very highly versatile harness. It's great for flying with a paraglider, just for soaring and therming around and just playing around the local site. It's also great if you want to fly it with a mini wing or a parakite. It's fantastic for that and gives you a really nice feeling, and it's a great harness for playing and swooping around. The EASINESS 3 I used a lot for playing around, particularly with mini wings. There weren't parakites around so much then. And now with EASINESS 4, this is my go-to harness really for flying with mini wings and parakites, but it's also the harness I use for testing a lot of gliders because it's just very light, quick and easy, compact, really easy to use and super comfortable. So if I don't want to lug around so much stuff, then this is a fantastic option for that. It's also actually really good for ground handling. So it's very versatile for a kind of harness that you want to come to the site, take off, soar, play around, lots of top landings. You could be flying a little hill like this or on the big mountains. It's great for hike and fly. It's also a fantastic harness for flying on the coast, I think, because it's got such a nice feeling and playfulness like the EASINESS 3, but I think Advance have managed to make the comfort even higher and the whole control and feeling even better. It kind of brings you back to the simplicity of paragliding, why a lot of people paraglide. It's just a nice, simple, lightweight, compact solution. Of course, who this is not for is pilots who are prioritising performance, who want the most aerodynamic, most performance-orientated sort of thing. Then obviously that's quite a different kind of harness. It's also not for pilots prioritising the absolute lightest weight. So it's not so much aimed at para-alpinists, mountaineers who are going to climb up big mountains and then fly down. Who's it for? Which kind of pilots? So I've talked about some of the uses, but first of all, let's talk about the level of pilot. So it is actually suitable as a first harness. It's also suitable to use for training. I think a lot of pilots will buy this as a second harness. They might have a pod harness for cross-country flying and things like that. It's also a really great and popular tandem passenger harness. Then you don't bother putting a reserve in because you don't want that as an extra thing to think about. But actually, it's a popular option for that. The weight shift authority is really good on it. It's not super high. It's not like a twitchy, nervous harness. It's a very nice balance of weight shift, but it's a bit more on the weight shifty, playful side. In terms of feedback, I think it gives good feedback. It's a moderate feedback. It's not a dampened harness, definitely not. Something like let's see, the Sopa LT Rando Light 2, that's more dampened. This is kind of a bit more touchy-feely weight shifty. So when you're going through the air and you can feel all the bits of lift and even the bumps and stuff, you can feel them a bit more and weight shift your way around them. Of course, with Advance, the build quality is just second to none. It's just beautifully made, and not only just beautiful, but it's made to a very, very, very high build quality or standard. I think in terms of durability, longevity, they're going to outlast most harnesses of a similar kind of weight and build. And we have really noticed that. It's very notable. Check with service centres as well. And we've spoken to service centres, ones who are not sort of particularly associated with any particular brand, who deal with all brands, so they're completely unbiased and objective. And they do comment that they really notice how Advanced stuff just does last better and well. So it's not just about prettiness and sort of extra fancy stuff for the sake of it that you're paying for. It's actually a very high standard of build quality, which does translate into durability and longevity. With the Easiness 4, you've got a harness that weighs just over 2 kilos. It is an airbag style, so you can see there's an air inlet there. The air comes in through. Comes with an integrated, just a very simple, lightweight speed system. The reserve is on the right-hand side. You can see the handle, and that's very, very neatly and tightly integrated in here with the reserve bridle channel that goes up and round and connects to your shoulders. So if you do throw your reserve, you're in a feet down position. It's good storage in the back. It's not. So the storage space on the Easiness 4, they've definitely decided, thinking that the sort of pilot buying this is looking to get their kit and their weight down. So they're more likely to be buying a light wing. So either light, really high and fly wing like the Pi 3, but it could also be a semi-light wing like the Epsilon DLS, or the light Theta ULS. And that sort of wing don't fit in there. You will fit in Advance's range of DLS because they are durable light structure. They are relatively compact, will fit in there. But this is definitely, if you've got a wing that's a bit on the bulky side, with lots of rods and a bit more performance orientated and more sturdiness and that sort of side, that they tend to be a bit more bulky, with lots of rods and that, then you'll find that's a bit of a struggle to fit in this. If you're really wanting to prioritize more, say, more durability and solidity and protection and best performance, but you still wanted a standard open harness, then in Advance's range you'd look at, so the next one up in a way from this would be the Boundless, which is their reversible but with a seat board, and the Easiness 4 has the split legs. Then you've got the next one up is the Access 5, and which is kind of then a kind of in between. It's kind of a bit lighter, and also it's about the cost, bit lower cost as well. And then in their standard open harnesses, Advance's top of the range harness is the Advance Success 5. So check our reviews. We've got reviews of all of those: Success 5, the Access 5 and the Boundless. So check our reviews, all of those, to get an idea more about those harnesses. The small side-rides are just such a perfect complement, I think, to this kind of harness. If you want something more than just a beeper. And the most obvious thing is to mount it the way Side have made it, with the Velcro straps onto the risers like that. But I just wanted to show you a different position that I found that works really well. Velcro it onto there. Now, just because you're filming, I'll do it a bit more perfectly. Like that. I would normally lanyard it on, although it will stay on, to be honest, because it's so light. And what I found is in the air, that's now the right angle. When I look down, I can read the display and see what's on it really nicely. And that's a really good option. The next option we have is a leg strap. And for example, if I'm flying here with a Navita Omni and I'm using the matching Navita Deluxe leg mount, and that's a particularly good, a lot of leg mounts kind of flop around and slide down your leg and stuff. And Navita, this is a really excellent leg mount. It's got a clip with the extra bands there. You can tighten those up a bit more. They're actually, I've got them a bit loose at the moment. I could tighten them up. So that's another good option. And now just showing the sub-air cockpit light. I just wanted to show you, we've attached it, and we've very simply attached it around the webbing straps that go up to the carabiners. So just looped it onto there. It's about getting the right length on here. It's like my finger, my phone finger on my glove. I'm going to try and demonstrate as if I was taking off. I just crouch down. You can see once I sit back in the harness, then it actually sits at a really nice angle. This is the ground start technique. From the ground up. Let's see, so let's try launching. yeah, just showing there, what I've done is just clip the cockpit around the waist strap, and it's exactly the perfect dimensions for it. It's like it's made for it. It's almost like it's from the same brand. And yeah, I've just tried a little hop on it, and the angle that it sits to me is really good. So that's another option. So now we're going to look at the Easiness 4 backpack, how it looks. And it's just a fantastic little backpack, even better than the Easiness 3. And it's taking on some features of the Lightpack ULS. So in here, I've got a pretty ideal wing. You can see it fits in really ideally, although it's packed quite loosely. And that's the Phi Solar GT20. And that fits in there pretty perfectly. Although I just wanted to show that if I mean, there's still plenty of space. It's because it is packed quite loosely. It's in the Phi Harmonica concertina bag, which is one fixed size. So you still got volume in there. So it could certainly fit something a bit bigger than that. But that's what I was saying, is that it's not really going to fit a really bulky, a bigger, bulkier glider. It's got a waist strap, just so that I'm relatively slimmish. About 80 kilos, 181 centimeters, just over, around about that. You can see I can pull it up nice, and so it sits nicely on my hips. There's a pocket there, and the neoprene pocket there. I'd like this to be a little bit bigger for my big smartphone. And then there's a waist strap clip. If you look at that, you can, it's height adjustable, but instead of the system that some advanced backpacks have where you slide it up and down, you just move these clips and to the position that you want. Really nicely, you can see how it just sits really nicely on my back. It's got these, more and more backpacks are getting this, where they've got these much wider straps which spread the load out a lot on your shoulders, and they're just, for me, they're just so much more comfortable than the thin straps we used to have on backpacks. So I really like them. They're super comfy, and then they've got these pockets here which are big enough to fit our smartphones in. So actually that's where we end up putting them now, I remember now. So you put those, so that's our old phones, and they go in there really well. And of course you can, the main idea, you can put drink systems, so soft water bottles in there. Really the important point is that it's super comfortable on the back. Really nice. And the Easiness 3 backpack was very good, but this is quite a step up. I think this is super comfortable. Definitely reminds me of the Lightpack ULS. So it's on the left side, there's a slightly shorter pocket. I've stuck my speed arms in there. It's our Flybubble speed arms. I've put my water bottle inside there. This place you could put other things like a jacket or clothing. Mention straight away. This is how you open the harness, reverse it. See, it's really quick and easy. All really nicely designed, high quality zips and everything, so that all works well. Okay, so I'm going to just quickly put the different gliders in there so you can see how they go in. Solar GT20, see that goes in there. This is the Phi Solar, so the standard Solar, which is the lighter version, and just a bit lighter than the Solar GT. The Phi Solar UL, this is the biggest size, the 16. Okay, and you can see, well, there's loads of space. Yeah, with that in there, there's masses of space. I think